Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Girl Dadding. I am Marcel. These are my daughters, Kiani and Kanaya.
Hi.
Kanaya, why don't you explain to us and to our audience what is the concept of girl dadding?
Well, we are two girls, two sisters, and a dad, our dad, that wanted to share insight and perspective on different events, topics, things that affect the father-daughter relationship, and more so specifically ours and how it's affected our outlook on the world.
Yeah, Kiani and I were talking and trying to figure out what we can do to help dads with daughters. Shared the idea with her and obviously shared it with you. And this was something that we thought we could do together, the three of us, and it would have a positive impact on people, your friends, maybe even my friends, dads who have daughters, or daughters who have dads, things of that sort. I'm hoping this is something we all can do together for a long time and be a blessing to people along the way. Kiani?
Okay, y'all, let's get.
So, um,
So let's kick it off. Poppy, tell people about yourself and relationship with us, if that's not already clear.
well, so a little bit about me, born and raised in Chicago. I have two sisters. My upbringing dominated by women, and my grandmother is a very instrumental force in my upbringing, in my life. Just being in a household full of women, married a woman, and although I wanted sons, the good Lord above decided not to give me any. So he blessed me with two fantastic young ladies. And I love them to pieces. And they've brought things out of me. You all have brought things out of me that, obviously I didn't know existed. So I'm very thankful for the experience of being a father and having the two of you in my life to help me become a better person. Um, I I take so much pride and joy in having daughters. Um, First because I don't know anything different, so I don't know what it's like to have sons. So I try to maximize my time being a girl dad. All that I've done in the 20 years that I've been a father has been with the idea of helping you to become the best women you can be, encouraging you, guiding you, putting barriers around you, putting boundaries around you, making sure you all are equipping yourselves to be the kind of women that other women would emulate and that young men would like to be around. Naya, why don't you share your perspective of your girl dad?
Well, I am the firstborn. So, as you can imagine, that comes with lots of different, not challenges, but adventures, I'll say. I'm the guinea pig kid, as they call it. So, I was alone about 3.5 years. So, I don't remember not having a sister. It is lots of fun.
Now it is.
Well, yeah, now it is. When we were younger and we didn't like the same things, it was like, oh my gosh, here she comes. But now we have a lot of fun together. Can't take us anywhere because we don't know how to act right.
It's so true.
um, but yes, I am newly out of my teens. I just turned 20 last month. Having a sister or having a girl dad. First of all, he always jokes that he wanted sons, and we'd be like, that's your problem. That's your fault. We didn't do that. But secondly, I would have loved to have brothers, but I don't have brothers, but I have a great dad. So I think that having a dad has been very instrumental in my outlook on life, especially in college. So much was given to us in the home and not necessarily materially. So it was a lot easier to kind of go out in the world and focus on the things I wanted to do because I really wasn't looking for much. But I miss being at home sometimes. I miss the small but big moments like birthdays. I'm only home for holidays. But having a sister is great. We hang out, we go eat, we go shopping, we call and talk about voice, clothes, music, whatever you could think of. So Yadi, tell us about being the baby of the bunch.
As she just said, I am the baby. I'm the younger of the two. I'm 16. I currently am heavily interested in all things theater, all things acting. If we continue to film in this room, you'll see this poster a lot. That's one of the first films I was ever a part of. Having a sister, I couldn't imagine not having a sister. Granted, I've never lived without a sister, but having a sister definitely teaches me a lot because with her being the guinea pig kid, there's a lot of things that I don't have to experience the roughness of firsthand. I kind of get just what they've learned, like, okay, we're gonna do this, and this is what we're gonna do for you. My sister and I, like two peas in a pod, we are like this now. I say now because like when we were younger, of course, we don't like the same things. Now that we're older and kind of have experienced some similar things, we can connect on a deeper level. Having a girl dad, man, not to brag, my dad, like, he's top tier dad. Like, I don't know, like,
Gold status for sure.
I see my friends that all the time. Like, I'm like it probably sounds so conceited and so self-centered, but like, I really do think I have the best dad. Like,
Power to the dad.
so many different things that other people's dad, I don't want to say that they just don't do, but you do a lot of things, especially being a guy and not want to do a lot of girly things. You do a lot of, I don't want to say girly things, but like you do a lot of what we like and what we ask you to do, and you don't fuss or complain about it. You may throw a joke in here and there, but you're a good sport about a lot of things, and you've done a wonderful job raising Kanaya, and you're doing a great job raising me as I'm still living at home. But I have no fears or doubts in my mind that I didn't have a positive male influence growing up because I've had one amazing one. So yeah, I think that's what I can say about having a girl dad.
Yeah, well, we titled this episode Two Peas and a Poppy because when Kanaya was in the womb and after she was born, I wanted my name to be somewhat different from my father's name, my grandfather's names, other men whom I know how their children related to them. So I chose Poppy for myself. So I thought it was kind of cool and hip. It was different. I didn't like Daddy. I didn't
Daddy? Like country daddy?
No, Daddy. Like Daddy.
Yeah, okay,
Daddy.
Daddy.
I didn't like Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like Dad. I thought father was too formal. Kanaya.
I call him father. So sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it just sounds.
Man, how much it sounds like so, just like okay.
But so I wanted something that was easy for them to say, and it's kind of almost a nickname that adults could call me. And so, one of the things that I wanted to be sure that I did as a father was to let my girls know I love them and that I want them to be the very best they could be in anything. And so part of that comes from my own upbringing. I didn't have my father living in the house with me. So, and I know my two sisters, that had an impact. And so I wanted to be sure I gave my children something that my sisters didn't get. And that was regular attention, regular love, regular quality time. So, they would have that image and have that relationship growing up. And so I am flattered that you all think so highly of my parenting. But listen, my parenting is only as good as you all make it to be. And so you two have been tremendous girls to know, to love, to raise. And I'm so super excited to see what you're going to do in the not so distant future, but also long term. Kanaya, I can't tell you how much I love you and how proud I am of you. And I told you, when you were younger, and I'm sure I've said to you, Kiani, I think the mettle or the test of a parent's mettle is not what happens when children are at home, but what happens when they leave home, because then we get to see how well your mother and I instilled in you the values, the principles, the decision making, the wisdom, so you all can go out and do the things you need to do without jeopardizing your well-being. And thus far, I think you two have crushed it completely. You're terrific students. You are role models in your schools, among your peer groups, and without being selfish, a parent like me could not ask for anything better. Um, Having said some of that, I do want to acknowledge my wife, your mom. Because
Mommy.
obviously, you know, with us being married for more than 20 years and doing this thing together, by no means am I as effective a parent without her. And so she truly is the rock of the four of us, and she's
Yes.
the glue that keeps us together. She's the engine that makes us go. And she's just a tremendous wife. She's a terrific mom, and she makes being a father easier because A, I don't have to do it all by myself. B, I know there's always someone who is just as vested in you all's well-being as I am. And C, um, you all are, kind of chips off her block. And so there's a lot of similarities, a lot of symmetry among the three of you that for someone like me, I get to observe that. I get to see how you all are growing up. I get to compare how you all are now with how she was based on things that she shared with about her childhood experience. And so it's just been a neat 20 years of parenting for me, and looking forward to what God has in store for however many more years we have together.
So, Father, tell the people, what is it like parenting me versus parenting Kiani?
Oh wow. Well, since you are the older one, um, you don't get the benefit of parental experience. And that's the biggest thing, as Kiani said. You know, parenting her, we already have a blueprint, so to speak. We already have some experience. We have something in the tank we can draw on. Everything we do with you is going to be new. And so that's both exciting and a bit frightening at the same time. It's easier now because you're on the cusp of full-fledged adulthood. But when you were 3, 4, 6, 8, 11, into your teenage years, the only thing we could draw on, your mother and I, was our experience at those ages. So we talked to our parents, your grandparents. We got some intel from aunts and uncles, and so it's a completely different dynamic between you and your sister. But I enjoy our relationship, Kanaya, because it is obviously different and unique. You're the firstborn, so there's a part of me that always looks to see exactly how you're going to handle things, because I can't really make a prediction. Whereas with Kiani, when I parent Kiani, I always have it back in my mind, okay, this is how Kanaya did it, or this is how Kanaya responded, or this is what Kanaya would think, or this is what Kanaya said. So, but the challenge for me, and I think the challenge for every good parent, is making certain I don't put her in the box that you created for yourself. And so one of the big challenges always is encouraging each of you to be your individual selves. And obviously, Kanaya, it's easier for me to do that with you because you don't have anyone to whom I can compare you. Whereas with Kiani, there's always a temptation to evaluate or assess how she does things by how you did things. And so one of the things I want to be sure of in my parenting was to let Kanaya do Kanaya and be Kanaya, good, bad, or indifferent, but then also apply much the same value system, the same structure, the same set of ethics with Kiani, but allow Kiani to operate as Kiani does. And obviously, I mean, you two know, our audience doesn't know, but you two know you are diametrically opposed in personality. And so things that Kiani does, you don't do. Things that you do, Kiani doesn't do, and that's fine. I prefer that. But always making sure that I am not expecting one of you to act like the other. And so in terms of the greatest differences between parenting you, Kanaya, and you, Kiani, just making sure I allow the two of you as individuals to be who you are and not expecting you to change who you are in order to accommodate what I think you should do. What do you think about my parenting of you compared to my parenting of Kiani?
I mean, obviously being the oldest, there are a lot of things that I just was like, dang, I didn't get that much leeway or leniency in certain things. But like my dad said, Kiani and I are very different people. So in a lot of situations, he had to parent us differently because we were approaching a situation in a different way. I remember Kiani was out somewhere and I was like, does she have a curfew? He's like, no, but she need one. And I'm just like, when I was her age, my curfew was this time. And now that I'm living at school and I can do what I want to do, it's so funny seeing how different her teenage years were from mine. But I think that you parent us appropriately, meaning it always fits our personalities. I think you and I are very similar. And we'll be having our mom on for an episode. And so you guys will be able to see that I am very much like my father and Kiani's very much like my mom, which is a great thing. So there's balance within the house. But I think a lot of the ways that you parent me is probably how you would advise yourself, versus with Kiani is very much like, okay, how would mom take this? Because they're very similar, especially emotionally. But I think that it's always appropriate. I think. What do you think, Kiani?
I agree. I mean, like, I like to speak to the thing about like curfew. I like people, and
I'm glad you said that.
And when I say like, when I say like I like people, meaning like Kamaya is. I'm like, when you meet my sister, like all at first glance, you might think like, oh, she's not very, I would keep my distance, but like she's a really nice and open type of person. Like she's not gonna push you away if you were to approach her, but like off rip, like you might see my sister and be like, okay, I'm gonna talk to her last. I don't want to hear. Whereas with me, I love people, absolutely love people. So like, whereas with Kanaya isn't you weren't the. I don't take you as the type of person who at my age would have wanted to been like out with a big group of people.
In my defense, though, it was COVID when I was her age.
True.
So we weren't able to go anywhere, but continue.
That's true. So like, I mean, like, I just want to tell you as a person that would want to be out with a huge group of people.
That's true.
11, 15 at night. Whereas with me, and also we've relocated from Chicago, so new city, new people. I'm having a completely different high school experience than what I had when we were living in Chicago. So like, there's just like a bunch, like it's like a kid in a candy store. I want to eat everything. I want to take a bite of this, and take a bite of that, and eat some of this, and drink some of that. It's like just experiencing different experiences with different people. Like I have a new circle. I have a completely new circle of friends. Like whereas in Chicago, I kind of hung out with the same group of people. But I'm experiencing new cultures and experiencing new ways of life. So I just want to do a bunch of different things. But I will say that you all have given me the space to kind of experience those things. And because I can definitely say, like, I know the boundaries that my parents have in place. Like, I understand, like, they are not going to let me be outside at 2:00 in the morning. There's certain places I can't go. So, like, that speaks to your parenting. I know the boundaries and know the things that I can and cannot push. Yeah. Like, y'all say 10:30, we can shake a little toward 11. We can do it. We hit that 12. I know that 12. That's it. So
yeah, you got it. You got it.
Thank you. It's like I know, like I had an instance when we got out of school, and my friend was like, "Well, can we maybe sneak to 12:30?" I said, "No. They said 12. I think they need to go can't cut it." And I wanted to actually be in my own bed at 12:30, so we were gonna be gone before that. Amen. But I think that you and mom's parenting has really, I feel, you all give me just like that area to kind of be myself and different
Mhm.
from Kanaya. Because, like Kanaya said, she is very much so like you.
Well, listen, let's bring this to a close. And this has been fun. This has been a lot more fun than I anticipated it would be, and I think we're off to a great start.
Yes, we hope you had a great time listening with the girls and their dad. Thank you.
Dadding, bye.
Bye.
We thank you for listening to this episode of the Girl Dadding Podcast. We hope you will tune in to our next episode. Again, please join our village by subscribing to our channel. You would be a welcome addition to our endeavor. Hit the thumbs up button if you like what you heard. We hope it made a positive impression upon you. And click the bell so you will be among the first to know when our next episode lands in this YouTube space. Whether you're a dad or a daughter, heck, a son or a mother, you have purpose, meaning, and value. We celebrate you because you are made in the image of God. See you next time on the Girl Dadding Podcast.